it's a great benefit to the citizens of Tacoma. It's my understanding that the Tacoma Public Utility has over $122 million that could actually be used for something, and maybe they could consider using that for improving click. But I'm very satisfied with my click coverage. Currently, Time Warner is trying to merge with Comcast, and when they do that, they're expected to have over 50% of the market, according to the Washington Post. And that lack of competition hurts all of us. The Click Network currently is saving the citizens of Tacoma $200,000 a month. It works out to about $4 million a year. I think that Click could improve its services by increasing the speeds on the network. It does have the capability to give 100 megabytes per second to its customers. And I think that's one of the advantages that Click has. Expanding the base, they could perhaps do that by expanding out into Pierce County. Now, I don't know if that's possible, but Tacoma Public Water apparently does that. Tacoma Public Utilities, the Energy Department does that, so maybe that's a possibility. But I really ask all of you, Mayor, to take this into consideration for all the citizens to listen, to take the time and not be rushed into a quick and hasty judgment. Across the country, there are companies that are trying to privatize much of America. In Chicago, you may be familiar with the parking meters. The mayor sold those for $1.1 billion. They were told they would return about $3 billion to the company that bought those. Instead, J.P. Morgan came back and said, oh, we've calculated it now, that we're going to get actually $11 billion. So this is a public asset. And one final thing, you probably all saw the paper here. I thought this was really odd. All these companies are raising the rates, increases 42%, 333%, 736%, 485%. And then, of course, somebody apparently didn't miss the luncheon maybe, but they had 69%. I'm not sure why they can raise these rates so incredibly high so fast. I've never had this kind of increase in my salary. So I think there are a lot of alternatives, and I'd like to have the council take this up and give consideration, serious consideration perhaps over the next year. I would like to see the report too and just read it that the consultant did. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience wishing to come forward to speak on any items? Please state your name for the record, sir.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. My name is Doug Miller. I was in elected office as a Metro Parks Commissioner and a Tacoma City Council member during the first 10 years of CLIC's formation. I'll refer to my notes to try to keep it to 3 minutes. I saw some bold and visionary actions taken to build the system that became the envy of the country. It was a legacy-creating policy, but more importantly, it was the appropriate action needed to bring our community into the 21st century. Council members stood up to big corporate interests who said Tacoma was not a high enough priority to improve our internet speeds and viewing options. Now you face monumental decisions affecting the future of our network. Consider how history will remember your actions. What will your legacy be? In the beginning, council members knew that improving the quality of life for their constituents required attracting jobs and the tax revenue businesses bring in. Fast internet speeds would be a selling point to attract good jobs, as well as the revenue needed to pay for road repairs, social services, parks, and schools, among other things. Part of the visionary plan was to operate a system with an open access network and keep separate the entrepreneurial retail internet service side of the network from the cable TV side. The objective was to attract independent internet service providers, ISPs, who would do all the legwork to generate millions in revenue for CLIC. It's working. They contribute over $500,000 every month to CLIC's bottom line. To be a wholesale customer, they were also required to pull up their roots and plant their businesses permanently here within Tacoma city limits, and 3 did. I was one of the first 31 customers of one of those internet service providers, and I'm proud to say I was one of the first CLIC customers. I don't get a plaque for that, though.
Did you have AOL?
It's just a great service. About 3 years ago, I was asked by an ISP for help because they were facing broken promises that threatened their very survival. They were told by TPU staff that CLIC needed the option to bring to break their agreement and to go into the retail internet business. But the utility board said no to what was referred to then as Plan A, and they directed TPU management to sit down with the ISPs to work out a plan to generate additional revenue for CLIC while maintaining the wholesale and retail relationship. That solution became known as Plan B. A board member called it the plan. Hundreds of hours of work led the ISPs to come up with numerous solutions. Just one I'd like you to think about is to declare parts of the telecom plant impaired assets and write them off. CLIC could show a profit with one fell swoop by eliminating paper losses from the P&L statement. I witnessed 3 talented, hungry entrepreneurs demonstrate their loyalty to the preservation of the network. TPU told the ISPs they would have to attract 6,000 new customers over 3 years.
Mr. Miller.
And they're well on track to do that. Okay. Just to wrap up, please, Plan A should stay off the table. The ISPs should be given time to work through the plan that is working. We've generated 4,500 new customers just in the last couple of years, and we're on track to reach the goal of 6,000. We'd love to visit with you to share more information in detail. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, any other members of the audience wishing to speak about